You know, the national debt matters to every consumer in this country, it matters to every business in this country, and it matters to the country as a whole. We're now carrying a $14 plus trillion debt. And if we can't pay this off, and it's becoming increasingly impossible to find the political equation to pay this off, we're going to end up inflating the money supply. And that's going to mean higher, people will not buy government bonds without getting higher interest. If we get higher interest, then all the expansion that the business wants to participate in is going to have to be funded with higher interest rates. Higher car loans, higher student loans, higher mortgage rates. I mean, all of this is going to be a consequence of not getting the debt under control, or else we're going to have extremely high tax rates to pay it off. And guess who's going to get hit with that? Businesses, as well as people who are upper income taxpayers. And there are going to be a lot of restaurateurs and restaurant companies who get caught in that crossfire. You know, we come back to the situation where the restaurant operator, when it comes time to the national debt, is no different than any other business operator. I mean, we need to see to it as our responsibility as much as any other chief executive officer of any other company to scream, yell, cajole, twist arms, do whatever is necessary with legislators to get them to do the right thing, because they're afraid to do the right thing because it's politically dangerous for them to acknowledge that there's some pain in doing something about the debt. We are spending $1 million every 30 seconds in interest on the existing debt that we have, to say nothing of the $1.5 trillion that we're adding every year. This is a disaster waiting to happen. You know, one of the things that operators can do is educate their own employees. I mean, I think that one of the great advantages that we have as an industry is to educate our own employees. If every employee that worked in the restaurant industry started to have some basic understanding of some of these issues, because they too are citizens and consumers and students, they need to understand that their future is imperiled. We have an opportunity to educate the public in ways that very few businesses have. And actually, we can educate the public as well. I had an initial program where we had economic trivia on coasters in restaurants. And a lot of consumers found these to be very fascinating. And we're going to launch that again. We've got to find a way to use our resources, which are customer traffic and employee traffic, to put information in the heads of people. You know, Thomas Jefferson said that everybody should have a free university education, because if everybody was educated, then the country could manage itself, it could govern itself. And when we're not educated, we do things like run up a $14 trillion debt and then figure out that we can't pay it off. We don't need television commercials, we don't need billboards, we don't need direct mail, we don't need grassroots. All we need to do is to take the hundreds of thousands, quite frankly, millions of people who go through the major chain restaurants in the course of a month, and put that information in front of them, and you can create a different political dynamic in this country where the restaurant industry, perhaps more than any other industry, because people are sitting at a table and they have nothing to do, they get information. As one person said to me, you know, I'm chewing on information while I'm chewing on this steak. They like that. And if we want to play a role in educating the public, we have the perfect opportunity to do it. Tune in for the next segment where you'll hear my opinion about labor unions in the industry.